Good evening, people. Welcome to Reaching Out Eddie. Hey, if you haven't been watching my videos, I want you to go and look at my previous videos where I was talking about, and I'm going to continue to talk about, and there's some other things that I'm going to continue to do. Folks, here's where I am. You know, it's been time when some of you out there in podcast land have been persecuted. You perhaps mistakenly done something wrong, or either sometimes you was charged for things that you did not do, such as in my case under the Bland administration. The title of this show here is going to be, you know, Bland Really. And the reason I want to say that, folks, to continue on with the, um, we're going to call it the Bland Sabbatical. I can tell you this, folks, is that last week I went to Meridian and I went to the circus clerk's office. I went, and the reason why I went to all these different offices, I went to the DA's office, I went to the sheriff's office. Also, I my son was with me, and so he filed a complaint with the Lauderdale County Meridian, Mississippi, Lauderdale County Democratic Party. He went down and he took a complaint there, and what he was challenging Percy Bland's candidacy. And the reason why he's challenging his candidacy is because Percy Bland is not a resident of Mississippi. Now, I want to say this to Lo. Lola, come on, man. I watch you and I watch you speak very well about so many different things. I watch you go before the city council and I watched it on from here. I watched it on live. You spoke about your son, how he was treated wrong, and I agree with you, and you presented your argument very well. But for you to support Percy Bland, I just got to tell you that I'm very disappointed in that decision that you're making. And the reason why I'm saying that is because during the Bland administration, what kind of message would you be sending if you would support someone for whatever reason that charge you with enough crimes that you would spend the rest of your life in prison? Percy Bland is a liar. You know that. You remember when he promised you a job, and when he finally gave you a job, he had you in isolation at the old Magnolia Teen Center, and it wasn't long before he fired you. See, he's gonna lie to you again. That's who he is, and he's not gonna change. But here's one thing that I know adamantly: that Percy Bland is not a resident of the state of Mississippi and has not been since he lost his candidacy. Y'all know when once he became mayor, he moved out of that little blue house that he had over there in close to Norwood in that little area. I could give you the address. If you go back and look at previous videos, you will see me posting that house along with that address. Today I'm going to read you the law, and also I'm going to read to you what the Department of Revenue law says about a husband and a wife claiming homestead exemption. Um, Folks. But I want to go back and just say that, come on, Lo, come on now. Some things we gotta take our feelings off our sleeve. And if Percy was the most qualified candidate, if he wasn't corrupt, if he wasn't bad for the city, if he had done anything more than laid 28 miles of road, and you can Google that, and that's what it say. I would be supportive for him, but not once he charged me. Those fake ass charges cost me hundreds of thousands of dollars or tens of thousands of dollars, what it did. And also fighting and all this thing. And you know, he got away with it, but he's not going to get away with it because now it's my time. Percy Bland is not a resident. He's a resident of Alabama, Basta, Alabama. Folks, let me tell you how you can know that. Y'all know that once Percy started making money and taking drug money off the interstate, he moved from, and you know, when Sherry Berry was the mayor of Meridian, she rode around in a little Ford Escort, a little small Ford car, simple, plain. Because once Percy became mayor, he started riding around like he was an FBI agent. They went and got the big black SUVs, and that's what Percy Bland rode around in. And Jimmy Smith continued it. See, black folks always want to shine, always want to look good, but they don't really care. Those two mayors, even though they were the first black mayors of Meridian, Mississippi, the first and the second black mayor of Meridian, Mississippi, they were the first and second black token mayor of Meridian, Mississippi. None of them has done anything for the constituency in that community. Now I can say that and walk and speak to Jimmy Smith tomorrow. Now he ain't gonna speak to me because he wears his feelings on his sleeve. But it's okay. I don't care. And folks, but let me just go back. This is a ad lib show, meaning that I certain things that I'm gonna tell you, but I'm gonna talk about this and talk about this until somebody put Percy Bland ass in jail or until he resign. Now I'm gonna tell you, Percy, I know you're watching this. I strongly recommend that you resign from the party. I think you should quit the race. You don't have to tell anybody anything. Just withdraw your candidacy for mayor. Don't give any kind of press conferences or anything like that. Just take your ass back to Alabama or go back to Jackson. He's not even homegrown, folks. Y'all need to, and he was an atrocious mayor. But let me go on and talk, and I'm going to read some things to you here. Percy Bland. Now, Percy Bland claimed homestead, but let's just talk about that. And this is for you, Lo. You said Percy Bland lived right down the street or wherever else that you say he lived. So I don't care if he lived next door to Jimmy Smith, next door to the mayor's office, next door to the city Meridian, next door to Bonita Lakes Mall. I don't give a damn if he live in a ditch. He's not a resident of the state of Mississippi. Let me tell you folks how you can follow the numbers and you can follow the facts. Fact number one, person lived in a little blue house. Once he became mayor, he moved out into the Al Rosenbaum house out in Northwood. You know the big house on the corner. He had the big SUV out there all the time. Also, his wife got a job with the Meridian Public School, even though she wasn't qualified for that position, but it was a position, a way of filtering and sending her money. That's my opinion. Also, but facts remain is he moved out in the big white house. Now, so this is for you, Lo, and for all you other folks out there. If person was claiming homestead exemption, how is it that he moved out of the house that he was living in and started claiming homestead exemption on a house that he had on the market for sale? See? So if he was claiming homestead exemption in that big white house out there, it's not on North Hill Street. It's probably about 41st, 42nd Street or somewhere like that. I don't know, 30 something. But y'all know it was Al Rosenbaum's old house, the big white house on the corner, big mansion on the corner. Person moved into that house. He bought that house and moved into it. Or either he was paying rent or either maybe they was letting him live there rent free. I don't know. All I know is that that's where he was living once he was while he was mayor. The last time he was mayor, the last 4 years, the last probably 7 of those 8 years, he lived there in that house. And I can get the factual information if I wanted to, but I know that what I'm saying is true. So if he was claiming homestead exemption there, how to switch from one place to the next. You never saw Percy Bland. If Percy had a renewed vision and he cared about Meridian, he would have been going to the city council meeting from the time he lost his job up until now, trying to get it back. But you never saw Percy because he wasn't there. His son is named Perrin Bland, graduated from Thompson High School May the 23rd, 2024. Do you really think that a good father would have his son live in one place and he live in another place? No, that's not true. He was a ball player. Percy Bland trained himself, going to all his games. So, he was there. And then I've shown you, you go back and look at the other videos and you will see what Percy Bland and his wife was at Star Lake. This is a park that's in Hoover. Celebrate her birthday after 25 years of marriage. Wonderful 25 years is what he said. So they never separated. He's in Hoover. He's not in Meridian. He's not even in the state of Mississippi. He's in Alabama. And when you Google his name, Alabama, the address come up for the 1020 Corner Circle, Alabaster, Alabama. That's what it come up for. You Google his wife name, Deidre Bland, it comes up that same address. She never said she lived in Mississippi. She works for Art Realty in Birmingham, Alabama. So now you see it's something strange here, folks. Now, some of you out there, I just got to tell you, damn it, come on now. Us Negroes got to stop doing this. Us Negroes got to start doing what's right. Look at Meridian. It's in dire straits. Meridian is not doing. Meridian citizens are not doing good. Black folks ain't doing good in Meridian, Mississippi. After 12 years of black Negroes mayor, not doing good at all. Almost 12 years of Negroes being in charge, and we're worse off today than we were yesterday. So why would we give either one of those Negroes another chance of being mayor of Meridian, Mississippi? I don't give a damn how they could be the best looking men in the whole world. They're sorry. They're an atrocious mayor. They do not care about the black community. Percy's a goddamn Republican. He live in Shelby County. And but let me read this here for you. This here is homestead exemption rules and regulations from the Department of Revenue, Mississippi Department of Revenue. This here is 35.6, and that's VI 0.03.04 Mississippi Administrative Code, Part 6, Subpart 03, Chapter 4, Section 101. Section 101 deals with married people. I want y'all to see that if you can. It's 101. I got to highlight, but I'm about to read it to you now. Any married person living with their spouse is defined as head of a family. The property may be owned by one or both spouses. Only one application is filed with both names on the application. If an applicant is married, the husband and the wife's names are required on the application. The homestead exemption application does not affect the ownership of the property on which exemption is sought. An application may be denied as incomplete if the applicant's spouse is not listed. Now, if Percy listed his wife on there, he lied. If he claimed homestead exemption and did put his wife on there, again, he lied. Either way, it's a false affidavit. In the state of Mississippi, it is a felony. It is a felony to claim homestead exemption, and it's a felony. And this is section. If anyone of the above submit a fraudulent application in violation of section 2733-31 Mississippi Code annotated, is guilty of a felony. So person has committed a felony. He does not live there. It requires that you live there for 2 years continuously in order to satisfy the residency requirement to run for mayor of the city of Meridian. Person has not lived there. You haven't saw him living down the street. Oh, you got a house down the street? I got property in Meridian, but I don't live there. Let's just go on, and I want to talk to you all a little bit more. This here's a letter that I wrote. I'm fixing to go and get it, and I want to read it to you. And I want you guys to see this. I sent this pamphlet here. This is the pamphlet that I sent off, and you can kind of see that. And it says that Percy Bland is not a resident of Mississippi. The proof is inside. Inside, you will see the address where everybody live at, along with Deidre's job. Here's Percy at Star Lake. There's Deidre working for Arch Realty. And of course, their address is in here also. On the next page, again, you see where his son Perrin graduated from high school, Thompson High School in Alabaster, Alabama. You see right here is the little blue house I was telling you about. This house was on the market and was taken off the market. This is where he's claiming homestead exemption. And of course, the other things in there, the son played baseball, and of course, he's on the roster for Thompson High School in Alabaster, Alabama. Also, it tells about what I just read to you is on this also. And this is the last page. And would a man stay in a different state away from his wife and son? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Would a law-abiding person try to bamboozle the people like Percy Bland? Absolutely not. Should Percy go to jail if he broke the law? Absolutely, hell yes. Say no to Percy Bland, folks. Put his ass in jail. And folks, now I want y'all to see this. And I'm going to go get something else too. These here are the envelopes that I use. And of course, I got a name on there. And this is the letter. Y'all see the pamphlet. And this is what I said. To whom it may concern, please find attached a document with evidence outlining Percy Bland III, a mayoral candidate for Meridian, Lauderdale County, Mississippi, possibly violating federal law, state law, and city ordinances in an attempt to become mayor of Meridian in the coming election. My reason for this accusation are as follows. And number one, in the year 2020, when Percy Bland lost mayor's position to Jimmy Smith, he moved to Alabaster, Alabama. Two, he continued to file homestead exemption on a house that he owned but did not live in the 8 years he was mayor of Meridian. See, he was living out there in the Rosamond house, but that's not the house that he's claiming tax exemption on. His wife, Deidre Bland, lives in Alabaster, Alabama, and works for Archer Realty in Birmingham, Alabama. She has never claimed to be a resident of Meridian, Mississippi since leaving in 2020. His son, Perrin Bland, graduated from Thompson High School, Alabaster, Alabama, May the 23rd, 2024. He transferred from Lamar School in Meridian. So you understand that? Transferred from Lamar, where his sister graduated from, and go up there in the 10th or 11th grade, the 21-22 school year, and started school there where he graduated at. Okay. Percy Bland fraudulently claimed homestead exemption in Lauderdale County, Mississippi. Both husband and wife must live in a home to claim homestead exemption in Mississippi. In Mississippi, that is a felony when you do that and your wife don't live there. Percy wants to be mayor of Meridian, but has not been living in Mississippi. He is running as a Democratic candidate, possibly conspiring with certain Democratic Party members to illegally circumvent the will of the people and arrogantly violating applicable state and federal law. And I signed this and I asked him to investigate it. Now, folks, let me tell you who all I sent this to. I don't play. I ain't scared of none of these Negroes. I sent it to the FBI in the state of Mississippi. I sent that along with that letter. I sent it to the attorney general for the state of Mississippi with that same letter and that same pamphlet. I sent it also to the Secretary of State. The Secretary of State controls election in the state of Mississippi, and it's like that in all the other states. I sent it to their election division, asking them to investigate with an outline and the same pamphlet that you just saw me with. Also, I sent it to the National Democratic Committee in Washington, D.C., and pointing out too. And I kind of like put in bold print, and I want you all to see that. I put it in bold print about the Democratic Party, because I want that to jump out at them. I said possibly conspiring with certain Democratic Party members. I put that in bold print. I said possibly. I didn't say it was, and I didn't call name, but I put that in bold print in order to get attention. And you know that the people that I'm sending it to are members of the Republican Party. White folks don't care much for the Democratic Party, especially in the state of Mississippi, which has a supermajority. I mean, they have the executive branch, they have the legislative branch, and they have the judiciary branch. Everybody's Republican in the House, in the Senate, the judges in the Supreme Court and in the appeals court. They're all Republicans. And they have such a majority, they don't need black folks for anything. And here we are, 38% of the Mississippi population, and we're doing bad because we allow for people like Percy Bland to come in and bamboozle us. I also sent it to the state Democratic Party. So I mailed it to those people. And folks, let me tell you, I don't play. Now, if y'all, what I want y'all to do is tell somebody to look at this video. You guys need to be watching this. Y'all need to spread this like wildfire. I'm not lying. Google these folks' names. You'll see it yourself. And let me tell you this, person, you know the FBI done investigated you before. You know they don't like your ass. Is this stuff really worth you going to jail for? A lot of you out there going to have egg on your face because you jump on the Bland wagon because the nigga came with a good line, a good tale. He's a crook. He's a criminal. And his ass deserve to be in jail. I'm going to do everything I can to ensure that he go to jail. Now, y'all know how he came after me. He came after Lola, all them lies, how corrupt, all the blacks that was killed during this administration. See, God don't like ugly and don't care too much about pretty. And I promise you, Carmel's a bitch. And right now, I got that bat in my hand, and I'm going to knock the ball out of the park, folks. Person, I'm not going to let this go everywhere you go. Head of state. Watch that movie, Head of the State. In order for Chris Rock to get the white candidate that was running for president, he was everywhere up in his face. You want debate. You want debate. And finally, he agreed to debate. Percy, I'm going to be on you like that. Everywhere you go and everything you do, I'm going to be there pointing out to the people what kind of person you are. You will never be mayor of Meridian, Mississippi again. I can promise you this. You'll probably go to jail because the FBI going to investigate. Whereas I pull this stuff, I don't care what kind of tricks you pull, and all you peoples out there that supporting him. The reason why I said the Democratic Party, because my son filed a complaint. Now, when are y'all going to have a hearing? When are y'all going to bring Percy Bland there and make him, hold him accountable? You folks are not stupid, living down the street. He's not a resident of the state of Mississippi. It's easy. Everything is on the internet now. And guess what, Percy? They will pull your phone records. They will pull your phone records, nigga. They'll pull your damn cell phone and it'll damn bing every time your ass was wherever you was at. So you in some real serious trouble. FBI take your ass to jail this time. Do you know that by you going to Mississippi, trying to be mayor of Mississippi, and you are a resident of the state of Alabama, that you're violating federal law? So that gives the feds and the Justice Department the right to investigate your ass. They'll look at, man, y'all, you better watch, you better look at whatever headline news always got on Sirius FM where they be having those I guess forensic files or forensic report. And they be busting people because they see them in cameras, they cell tower ping. I mean, you're just not going to win with this kind of thing. If I'm not mistaken, ASAP Ready, they pulled this guy text messages. They knew everything he did, everything that he had, everybody he had contact with, every transaction that was made. Percy, you in trouble. The state is not going to Mississippi. They don't play with election, Percy. You as a black Negro thinking you smarter than everybody else. You need to take your ass to the Republican Party and stay there. It's time out, folks, for the Republican Party going and getting token Negroes and selecting them for our leaders and putting them there for us to represent them so we can be proud. It's time for us to stop eating the scraps of meat that's thrown up under the table. It's time for us to sit at the table. It's time for us to control the narrative and stop letting Negroes like Jimmy Smith and Percy Bland come in there and mistreat us. And everything they do is for themselves. And they'll let Negroes like that get rich at our expense. And it's time for that to end. I'm going to look at y'all chats and things like that. And I'm going to end this podcast. Hey, babe, I love you too. And all of you that are watching, I want y'all to share this podcast and tell somebody, watch this podcast. I want to thank y'all for listening. Percy, your ass going to jail. Y'all have a good evening. Thank you again.